Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? It's Jake Reed coming at you guys with another relatively quick video here to help you guys out on Blackout on Black Ops 4. Now, what this tips video is going to be is it's just going to be some basic tips on how to improve your gameplay in Blackout, the game mode, the Battle Royale game mode in Black Ops 4. I'm just going to find a match here and try and jump into some gameplay and kind of run you through some tips just kind of as we drop into the match. And we're just kind of we're going to see how things go. I'll give you guys a little bit of gameplay here in the background, but I do have a few different things that I want to talk about here in regards to the game mode. So, and actually, I don't want to jump right into a couple of them. I want to wait until we actually get on the game. But the first thing that we can talk about is we can look at the map. So first and foremost, whenever you're dropping, my number one recommendation, if you're not very good at the game, you don't want to necessarily jump right into the named locations like Nuketown, Cargo Docks, Fracking Tower, you know, train station construction, all these different places, because what that's going to do is that's going to put you in with a whole bunch of other people. It's going to, you know, test you very early and you're going to die, and you're not going to have a whole lot of fun. So if you are looking to improve your, you know, one-on-one combat, you might consider dropping in these places just to kind of test out your gun skill, try and improve your accuracy and all those different things. But I recommend dropping sites that are kind of off the beaten path, not named location. As you can see, I'll just show you up here, for example, between like train station and all of that, there are a couple different locations that aren't marked, you know, they aren't marked on the map, they're not named, but you can drop into these places and get a good loot run going between some of these buildings. They're not named, so not as many people will be dropping there. So that's tip number one, is to kind of stay off the beaten path. Try and choose places that aren't named. Try and choose places that you know you can kind of drop and not have as many enemies around you. And then tip number two here is actually going to be dropping with the wingsuit. So when you drop, you're going to want to aim straight down until you hit about 65-70 miles per hour, or sorry, meters per second, and then you want to level out to try and hit your target. Now what that's going to do is that's going to let you go a lot faster and a lot further to the target that you're trying to go to. I see a lot of people, you know, not doing this necessarily to begin the game, but what you want to do is drop down early to try and pick up your speed, and then once you pick up your speed, that's whenever you want to aim towards your target, because it'll let you get there a lot quicker and a lot easier. So those are the first couple basic tips. I'm going to go ahead and loot a couple things here and then kind of get into the next couple tips. One that I can kind of talk about here while I'm going through here is you want to prioritize weapons and attachments and then medical equipment as well. Like when you get into your first building here, you know, you're not necessarily going to be picky on what you choose, but eventually you're going to have limited space in your inventory. So what I just found there, I found a couple backpacks, which is huge. You want to prioritize backpacks for sure, because backpacks are very important in terms of your carrying size. I believe it doubles your carrying size, so having a backpack is extremely important. But you want to prioritize your weapons before anything else. And that's actually a helicopter up there. I want to stay away from that guy. I don't know if he saw me. He definitely saw me. You want to stay, you know, you want to stay away from picking up just anything in your sight, and you want to focus on your weapons. You want to focus on getting two weapons that you're comfortable with, and I definitely recommend the assault rifles. The assault rifles are going to be your, you know, main weapon of choice in this game. They're going to be the things that work the best for you. So you want to try and find an assault rifle or two, because they're going to be extremely important in keeping you alive. Now, what I often do is I try and pick up an assault rifle and then either a sniper rifle, I apologize. You're going to pick up a sniper rifle or something closer range like a submachine gun early on. So what I have here actually going, and I haven't found any other weapons, but this is kind of a typical setup for me, is I actually have going a pistol sidearm and then a submachine gun. So what I'll do is once I find an assault rifle, I'm going to go ahead and drop the sidearm, leave the SMG as my secondary, and then I'll have a assault rifle as my primary, and that's actually, the assault rifles are definitely the most powerful weapons in this game mode, so you want to center your game mode around assault rifles. Some of the most powerful assault rifles would be like the Maddox, the ICR, and the Vapor. They are both very good guns, so I would definitely say, try and center your gameplay around one of those assault rifles. Ooh, okay, and we pick up an early kill there. I'm going to go ahead and loot him. He's got an MPX. I have a backpack. I already have a reflex. We'll go ahead and pick up. Okay, I'm going to deal with my inventory here real quick. We're going to drop the smoke screen, drop a couple of these perks that I don't care about. And what you want to do, and actually this is a tip that is it goes along with everything else I've been talking about, you want to focus, while you're focusing on weapons, you want to pick up attachments, because once you find the loadout that you really want to roll with, attachments are going to be extremely important for you. You want to prioritize an optic on your gun, a silencer if you can, and then extended mags or quick mags, because what that's going to do is those are going to give you a huge advantage in gunfights. Those appear to be the most important attachments on your weapon, so you want to try and prioritize those early while you can. And with all that being said, I do want to go ahead and tell you guys, I have been pretty good at this game so far. I've been doing, and actually I want to take this gun, I want to drop both of these attachments, pick up the AK, and then see if I can pick up a suppressor for it. Suppressor is going to be super powerful now that I'm able to have that. That's going to help me out tremendously. And you want to, and actually I'm not very good at this, you want to try and avoid picking up ammo that you don't need. So oftentimes I just kind of pick up every piece of ammo that's laying on the ground when I don't need to be picking up all this shotgun ammo. It's not going to help me in any way because I'm not going to have a shotgun at any point. But now I have pretty much an ideal setup here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of focus on fixing up this setup. Once I finish looting out this building, I'm going to kind of swap between my weapons and make sure I have everything situated the way I want it to. I'm not sure that a rocket launcher is a good idea, so we're going to go ahead and avoid that for now. And once I have my setup finished up here, so there's the SMG. I don't want the stock on this. We're going to drop that and drop the barrel. I want to see what I can put on this. Okay, we'll put the extended barrel on the submachine gun, and that's okay. This submachine gun's not bad. As you can see, I already got one kill with it, so I'll go ahead and take that, and this is going to kind of be my setup. So what I'm going to do here real quick, and this is just going to be for the purposes of kind of talking you guys through a couple things, I'm going to go through and straighten out my setup. Now that I have it set up, I feel a little bit comfortable with where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and try and attach anything that I can to my guns. We'll go ahead and attach this. We'll drop this because we aren't able to put it on our weapon. Let's see. Sorry, I don't mean to do that. We'll attach the stock. And then everything else here, actually, we're going to just kind of go ahead and use. I didn't mean to drop that. And if you find yourself with these perks, just equip them early, to be honest with you, because, having these perks, you're going to find that at the end of the game, whenever the circle starts to get compressed, you're not going to have time to kind of, use your perks. So you might as well just, if you have them, if you found yourself picking them up throughout the game, just use them, and they'll burn off by the time you get to the end of the game. It's no big deal. I find that these perks are really basically insignificant in the game. They don't mean a whole lot. They don't do a whole lot for you. But yeah, with that being said, that's just kind of my rundown of, my setup and everything and what you want to do in terms of setup. Now, the next couple things that I want to get into here is I want to show you guys, you want to stick towards the narrow part of this circle. So I'm going to show you guys, once the next circle forms here, kind of what the strategy here is in terms of getting to the circle. So you don't want to be caught down here towards the main part of the map, because what that's going to do is all of these people that's, you know, flew in down here, they're going to be running up this direction, and you're going to get kind of caught in between them and whoever's in the circle. So you want to rotate around towards the outside of the map and away from the center of the map. And what that's going to do for you guys is it's going to basically prevent anybody from kind of sneaking up on you, shooting you in the back, speaking of which. Ah, what did he just hit me with? So he had the swordfish. I wasn't going to win that gunfight regardless. The swordfish is overpowered in all game modes. We're going to go ahead and drop into another match while we have the opportunity to. I apologize for getting killed there. I probably wouldn't have if I wasn't talking. A little bit distracted with this, but it's okay. We're going to get you guys into another game, and you saw that the setup works. I got a kill early on. You know, we were just kind of preparing to talk through some things. So I did want to show you guys that you want to circle around towards the outside of the map. Additionally to that, you want to kind of stay near the narrow part of the circle. You don't want to be caught out near the large part of the circle where you have to run a long distance to close in, because you're going to be exposing yourself to enemy gunfire in the process. And then on top of that, you want to try and stick to the high ground, and you want to try and stick to cover. Cover is the most important thing in this game, and high ground is probably the second most important thing in this game. You know, being able to look down on enemies, that's going to give you a huge advantage. Being able to be behind cover whenever you're shooting at enemies, whenever you're trying to spy on enemies, trying to sneak up on enemies, that's also going to give you a huge advantage. Cover is super important because it's going to keep you alive, and it's going to keep you in until the late game. You know, I've had a bunch of games where I've gotten like top 5, top 2, and even won a couple matches just based on the fact that I was able to stick behind cover and other people were forced to run out into the open, and I was able to pick them off. And so as far as that goes, you definitely want to stay behind cover, and you want to definitely maintain the high ground. And then as you could see there in the last match, that brings me to a very important point, is that loot isn't always worth it. This is something you want to kind of teach yourself early on, is that, you know, you don't want to be constantly going for loot and constantly picking up every single thing that you can. Once you get a comfortable loadout, you need to be on the alert for enemies. You know, you need to have once you have your couple guns that you want, don't bother with picking up everything else. Be on the alert and on the lookout for other enemy players. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to do something similar to what I did last time. I'm going to go ahead and try and drop into a non-named location, probably somewhere like right here. And, you know, that's just kind of a very basic tip. That's a very, you know, that's kind of universal across all Battle Royale game modes, is you don't want to constantly be looting. Once you have a setup that you're comfortable with and you know you can survive for quite a while or until the end of the game, whatever it may be, you don't want to constantly be looting because you're going to be exposing yourself. And you could see that in that last game. You know, I was picking some stuff up, you know, not really paying attention to my surroundings, talking to you guys, and I got myself killed because the guy was able to sneak up on me and kill me super easily. And I hadn't rotated around from that portion of the map quick enough. If I had rotated to the top of the hill, which would have been my natural instinct, which is what I normally do, I probably would have much more quickly evaded that enemy, maybe even seen them before they saw me. So right here, we actually start off with a pretty decent setup with an assault rifle early. So I'm going to basically just be looking for a decent secondary and some attachments for these guns to kind of increase my loadout, and some meds while I'm at it. I do have 1 or 2 more points that I want to talk about here. I just want to finish looting.
Relocation to indicated safe zone is advised.
Okay. Actually, I'm not sure that I want this, to be quite honest. There's nothing in here that I want. I want to just pick this up. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, now that I got everything that I want, I just want to get into my last couple of points, is that, you know, you want to prioritize kind of, you know, staying alive more than anything. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're really good at this game, feel free to go ahead and, you know, do your best to get into whatever gunfights you want to get into. But, you know, for people that are a little bit closer to my skill level, people that are, you know, I consider myself to be pretty good at Call of Duty. I consider myself to be pretty good at first-person shooters, but I definitely don't consider myself to be like top tier when it comes to these things. You definitely want to consider, I want to see what time zoom, that's 3 times zoom, that's okay. You definitely want to consider just kind of keeping yourself alive more than anything. That's super important. Staying alive is just, it's what's going to obviously win you games, and it's what's going to, you know, you're going to have more fun if you're staying alive and you're not running out and getting killed constantly. So I definitely recommend doing your best to just kind of stay alive, keep yourself alive, keep yourself behind cover, and that's going to, you know, win you a lot more games than, you know, running in, you know, early on, trying to get a ton of kills super early. It's not going to do a whole lot for you, to be honest with you. Get us some fast mags. We'll go ahead and check real quick. I didn't want to drop that, pick that up. We're just going to use them, and then we're going to go ahead and just try and get ourselves. We have the silencer on this. That actually, it might be a good idea to put the silencer on that, put that on that. Alright, we'll just go with that. That's okay with me. Now what I'm going to do, I'm close to the circle here, and I want to show you guys kind of just on the map, you know, what the best idea is here. You want to be, the kind of the final tip actually that I wanted to say to you guys is that you definitely want to kind of be on the, you want to listen for gunfire, people moving around and everything like that. And so I just heard some gunfire coming off from Nuketown. That's not surprising to me. But what I want to do here is I want to find a way to rotate around to the outside of the map here, and obviously the small part of the circle. Right now I'm caught on the outside of the circle, and there's some grenades going off nearby me, so that I know that there's some gunfight going on. But I probably want to rotate. I don't know if I want to rotate this way. That's probably better is if I rotate down this way towards cargo docks and try and make my way across to the lighthouse and over this way, because you definitely don't want to be caught out in the middle of the circle. Now I'm going to have a look-see to here to see what's going on, why there's explosions going on. But I might actually take this truck, this vehicle, to kind of traverse my way down there a bit quicker. And this is something that I think a lot of people try and recommend that you stay away from driving vehicles. Don't get me wrong, it's probably, you know, in a lot of situations a good idea to stay away from driving vehicles, because what they do, they make a lot of noise, they let people know where you're at, and oftentimes can get you killed. But if you know what you're doing, you know, you're not going to get yourself killed doing this. You know, I know where I need to go. I'm not going straight into combat. I'm going to try and get myself, you know, as far away from combat as I can. I'm going to take the vehicle somewhere over near there, then ditch it, then run away from it, so that it doesn't give my location away. And those are pretty much the last few basic tips that I have for you guys. You know, just to kind of recap, it's just, you know, you want to try and spawn in non-named locations. You want to focus getting your setup set up early. You want to focus on your guns, make sure you get an assault rifle that you like, and then a good secondary that will help you in certain situations. You want to focus on certain attachments. You want to make sure you get an optic and a magazine attachment on your guns. Those are going to help you a lot in the long run. It's going to help, you know, prevent you from losing gunfights. It's going to help you win gunfights. You want to make sure that you drop straight down to pick up some speed early on. And that's going to be a tremendous tip that's going to help you guys get to objectives a lot quicker. And I actually want to go ahead and drop some of these attachments so that I can put them on my gun. Now that I found another assault rifle, I should have 2 good assault rifles here going now. One with a bit of a longer sight, which is good. Have a couple different, what is that? Extended fast mag. That's what I want for sure. Extended mag on that. Pick up some meds. Meds are always useful. I want the silencer on this one. Mesh mines are very useful. Anything explosive can be very useful in this game.
Further collapse expected. Travel to indicated safe zone.
I'm not going to bother with the ICR. I definitely hear some people nearby, so I want to kind of try and avoid them. But those are the tips. Try and keep yourself alive. Try and get yourself a setup very early on that you like, and that you know that you can use. I don't know if that guy saw me or not. Oh, that's a zombie. There's definitely a guy over there, though. I heard the explosion. Yep, there's a guy running around right there. And so what I'm going to try and do, I know he's over there, and in order to come into the circle, you know, he's going to have to kind of come past me, depending on where this circle ends up. So I'm going to try and get myself into a position actually to be able to flank him and kill him. But as you can see, you know, we're super far into the match. There's only 30 people left. We haven't made contact with anybody in particular, but we have a setup that we like, and we know that for the end game, you know, we're kind of set up to be able to win if, you know, if we're committed to, you know, this strategy, keeping ourselves near the outside of the map, keeping ourselves kind of away from the enemies. I would really like to kind of go in here and kill him while he's preoccupied with the zombies, but I know that that's a little bit risky, and he'll probably hear me sneaking up on him if I do. And like I said earlier on in the video, I want to let you guys know that I do have a lot of top 5, top 2 finishes, and even a couple victories. I've gotten kind of unlucky. I had a victory or 2 that didn't count because of the system lagging out or the PlayStation shutting off, or sorry, the app shutting off. And so I've gotten a little bit unlucky when it comes to a couple of those things. But I have been doing very well in this game mode. You know, these tips will help you out. These are the same tips that you're going to see on a lot of other people's YouTube channels. I wonder if this guy's spotting me yet. No, I really hope he comes across the bridge. And you want to make sure you check your back. More often than not, I end up dying because I don't check my back. Where did he go? Zombies coming out this way. Nope, it's running back this way. There are people up behind me. That guy's just going to probably camp there for quite a while. He's definitely up in that tower. I think I saw him go by the window there. I kind of want to check out the gunfire behind me because I don't want to get caught out from behind. I'm trying to watch those zombies' patterns. I'm trying to see if that's... Yep, here he comes. He's coming out the front. We're going to wait till he comes a little bit closer. And he's dead. Easy kill there. Silenced, so nobody knew we were here. And this is a time where it's probably not a good idea to loot him. If anybody else was watching him, we might get ourselves killed here.
Relocate to safe zone.
The Vapor, I heard, is a very good weapon, so I'm actually going to pick that up instead. I'm going to pick up the Trauma Kit, because the Trauma Kit will give you an additional amount of health. I'm going to put a suppressor on this one as well. Pick up some Molotovs, those are definitely helpful. Pick up whatever ammo I can. And that's good enough for me. So we got a long-range silenced weapon, a little bit of a closer range assault rifle, silenced. Oh shoot, I want that ELO sight. That's alright, we'll deal with this. No we won't, we got time. I want to go pick up the ELO. Come on. Give me the gun. Give me the ELO. Extended mag on it.
Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
That's better. Alright, so we got our setup. I'm going to go ahead and fix this circle here real quick. Now we want to get to high ground. There's going to be people probably in this building right here, so we're going to circle towards the very outside of the map and circle in that way. Like I said, you want to circle towards the small part of the map. And we get caught out from behind. Where was that guy at? We got caught out from behind from a guy right over behind us, but that's a top 15 finish with 1 kill. That's really not that bad. That's me just not paying attention, trying to talk to you guys and spell out my plan without listening to the enemy. But obviously that guy snuck up behind us. He probably saw us off in the distance. Nope, he just came over here to loot and got lucky. I bet he jumps out this... Yeah, he jumps out and just sees us. He had no intention of actually being there. He was circling around just like I was and came up behind me. I didn't circle around fast enough. I took too long to go ahead and, move the way that I wanted to, the way that I had planned to. I apologize for that, guys, but those are the tips that you want to use in order to get better at Blackout. As you can see, me talking the entire time and not really paying attention to what I'm doing, I managed to get a very good setup and made a top 5 finish. So, not a bad result there, but it could have been better for sure if I was paying attention. You guys will do better, I guarantee it, if you follow these simple tips. And with that being said, that's all for today, guys. Go check out some of my other videos on the channel if you like. If this helps you at all, leave a like on the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And that's it for today, guys. Have a good one.